Hey there guys, welcome back for another Mortal Realms magazine review. This week taking a look at the start of the final run. 10 issues left, we are on issue 70. And with this issue we get a pretty cool model here. We get Kurdos Valencian, a hero of the Night Haunt, sat upon his throne here with his two dudes, his flag bearer and his trumpeter, and he does very much remind me of the king guy from Lord of the Rings, with his three-piece helmet here and his weapon. But yeah, so he comes on 2 sprues. We got a nice big base for him, 3 sprues, sorry. Obviously there's quite a bit to make up for this. Now looking at it, we're looking something similar to that, maybe something like that either side. But yeah, he's obviously him plus his 2 guys on a throne. Now looking at this, I will probably end up painting the throne separate and then see about assembling him. But yeah, it's definitely going to be done in subsections just because of the way that it's looking like this needs to go together. But we'll have a look when it comes to the assembly and see how it goes. However, for the painting video, link in the top right corner here, go and check that out and you'll see how I went about doing it in the end anyway. Right, so we have Kurdos Valencian, Tyrion the Elven God. Pretty sure he wasn't elven, he would most likely have been a dwarf. But yeah, and Cleansing Phalanx War Scroll Battalion. Ah, so another War Scroll. Or another War Scroll Battalion, I should say. So, Kurdos Valencian, the Craving King. The Craving King is among the most powerful and feared Night Haunt spirits, second only to Lady Olinda herself. Kurdos Valencian is a masterful commander and brutal combatant. Champions who dare approach the Craven King are subject to his bitter wrath and crushed by his vast mace. Definitely a cool looking model. Paint wise I probably will do something very similar to this. But yeah, so he's got his scepter. Kurdos' huge mace has spelled doom for many heroes. When wielded by the Craven King, this brutal weapon is powerful enough to crack the skull of a gargant. Wow. And then he obviously sits upon his throne with his spectral attendants. And he is lieutenant to Lady Olinda. Order. Tyrion. Tyrion is the elven god of war. No, he's not. He is the guy that killed his brother? Fought his brother? Did something to it. Oh, killed his dad, didn't he? Tyrion Lannister. Anyway, Tyrion is the elven god of war. Together with his twin brother Teclis, he rules over the realms of Hirsch. He is brave, dutiful, and relentless. Tyrion's command, Lyria Othrale. That's a nice looking model. See, this headdress isn't too bad. This is something that, you know, that they could have, but when they've got them big cow horns, no, it just looks a little bit silly. Right, how to build. So here you go. They are saying sub-assemblies. The throne is one piece, and the Craven King is a separate one. That is probably how I will do it, just because it is going to be easier than painting the throne with him on there. Let's have a look at assembly wise. So obviously we attach this. These go to the sides. So no, personally I am going to assemble this side, this one, so I will paint them in 4 subsections, 5 if you include the flag. I won't put the flag on until I've assembled it all. So I will paint the flag separate, I will paint these two guys separate and the throne, and then assemble them, let them dry, whilst I paint the Craving King himself. Obviously he's another assembly here, so yeah, I'll paint him and then fit him to his throne. I do recommend you guys do it that way, at least do it this way, the way that they are saying, but me personally, just so I can make sure that I get to this piece side here that is going to be up against the throne, and the same for the other one, I am going to paint them all three separate. And then the same with the flag, just because it's on such a flimsy pole, I don't want to be pushing against the flag and risk snapping the arms. They don't have a huge contact area, so I would rather hold that near the top here, paint that, then paint this and attach it, rather than do it the other way around. I may even paint that, varnish it so I can hold it here, paint this and then attach it. I just don't trust it, the bonds here, to be enough when painting the flag. But obviously you guys can do it whichever way you feel most comfortable with. Then we've got obviously how to go about painting him. The flag and the cloak. Now obviously this is not going to give you the cover version, as you can see here. Again, this is why I'm not keen on this. When you look at the cover version and you look at what they're doing, I understand fully that this is aimed at beginners, and you know, nobody, not even myself, can expect a finish like this. You know, this is the heavy metal team, the top painters for Games Workshop, but yeah, expect something along the lines of this. Then we have the war scroll for him, so he can move 6, 7 wounds, bravery of 10 and a save of 4. How he even, oh, I suppose he's on a little bit of wisp of air, so I was going to say how can he move a throne, but if it's a floating throne then yeah, but yeah, 6 inches. He doesn't have any kind of range, so 1 inch range. Is a melee guy. Does get 5 attacks, and his heralds get 6 with spectral claws. That's not bad. Hits on a 3+, and they hit on a 4+. Same with the wounds. He's a -2 rend with a D3 damage. So Kurdos Valencian is a named character that is a single model. He is armed with the sepulchral scepter. Companions: Kurdos Valencian is accompanied by 2 Wraith Heralds who are armed with spectral claws. For rules purposes, the Wraith Heralds are treated in the same manner as a mount. This model can fly, and obviously they are ethereals, so I'm assuming when they say as a mount, when it comes to attacking, you choose which one attacks, which one you use. I think that is how it goes for mounts. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments. Like I say, I don't play this. Maybe I should, being as I'm collecting it, but I'm collecting it for the models, and yeah. So obviously he's got a few special rules here, quite a few abilities, which are shown on the back. I won't go through them. You guys can read up on that and learn about those. Then we have a War Scroll battalion for the Stormcast this time, and this is the Cleansing Phalanx. So the cleansing phalanxes are the core of many sacrosanct forces. Evocators working in such a formation can bolster the powers of their sequitur allies, allowing these sacrosanct warriors to strike with incredible accuracy. So a cleansing phalanx consists of 2 units of evocators and 2 units of sequitors. So quite a large phalanx then, isn't it? So what have we got here? We've got evocators on celestial dracolines and 5 sequitors there. So yeah, assuming you're running 5s, then you get 2 units of 5, and then the evocators, 2 units of evocators would obviously be, you've got the celestial dracoline ones, count as a unit each, Otherwise, we've got the guys on foot, and I'm not entirely sure if they make up one unit or not. I'll have to go back through and check that, but I think they count as individuals. We'll have to check that out. Then the Craving King. So this is the battle. Battles rage across the front of Batar, or in Batar, with the Nighthaunt and Stormcast Eternals both struggling for supremacy. In one such battle, the Lord Celestant Valadine Steelhand finds his soldiers shrouded in a strange mist. Amid the fog, a new foe emerges, and a new nightmare begins. There we go. So slightly smaller list this time to what we have had, especially for the Stormcast heroes. Moving on to the battle, we are on a 4 mat, so back to the formats. Back to the 4 mats, not format. For the Nighthaunt, we have to have Kurdos Valencia, and 2 choices from the Nighthaunt Heroes list, and 4 choices from the Troops list. And again, anything with a star counts as 2 choices. And for the Stormcast Eternals, you get 4 choices from the Heroes list. Obviously, Kurdos is then counting as 2 choices, which is why you only get him plus 2. And the Stormcast, you get 4. And then 4 choices from the Troops list. So setup is 6 inches along in from the edge of the long edge, opposite sides, and then 16 inches along the join in from the short edge is where an objective gets placed on both sides. So it is pretty much smack in the centre of each mat along the way. Right, so next week we have the Griffhound Statues, and then the week after we get Lady Olinda herself, the Mortarch of Grief, in issue 72. As of recording this video, I'm actually waiting on my delivery that comes with these 2 issues and then 73 and 74. And I am very much looking forward to painting her up. But that does bring us to the end of this episode, guys. As always, thank you ever so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you are newly subscribed, big warm welcome to you, and thank you to everyone who is supporting the channel through subscribing. And until next time, guys, take it easy, keep painting those minis.